past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Wow, it hasn't been a month yet, and I'm recording again. Yay! I got some finished objects that I need to get into the mail, so I thought I would go ahead and do a podcast. Welcome to those that are finding me. Welcome back to those who have been here before. I don't do show notes. And if you have any questions, just ask in the comments or find me over on Instagram and I will answer what I can. I'm recording here from my office this time in Grand Haven, Michigan, right on the shores of Lake Michigan. And it is finally spring, so flowers are blooming, pollen is out there. So if you hear it in my voice, the tree sperm's what kills me, so not everything is yellow yet, but it is what it is. So I have my handy dandy cup of tea. Hope you grab something to wet your whistle and sit down with me and craft while I'm going through what I have. My first finished object is, I've done 2 of these shawls and one of the crocheted version. This is from Two of Wands, her Storyteller shawl, and this one is for my sister. And I did it out of You and Me yarn. And I changed it because I didn't care for the mosaic garter stitch or moss stitch, kind of like on the mosaic. And so what I did was I went ahead and I did a 1x1 color work, and I did that down at the bottom where it did that also. You were also supposed to have a lace area in here and a lace area in here, and my sister said she'd prefer a more solid. I didn't go with one of her genres on books. This is more, she wanted something more blue jeanish, so I did the different colors based on blue jeans, threw in a little bit of tan and sand and cream, did the denim, and also did, I believe this is called Ozone in the light blue. And I really like how this came out. It is very large, longer than my wingspan, and very deep, and done in a bulky, not a super bulky, but a bulky. And I like the way it came out. So I hope my sister is happy. It is going to wrap up very nicely. She's a little bit shorter than I am, but about the same size. And it is big enough to wrap up and cozy up in. And it'll keep her warm. She lives in Nevada, so she's up near Tahoe. And the evenings there can get a little chilly. The winters there can get a little chilly. She just asked me to make her up one, so I went ahead and did that. This was all done on a size 11 needle. And of the 3 shawls, I think I might need to make a 4th because other family members. So let's see if I can put that there. And I have enough left over that if I don't do a total one color as the main, but all of this is You and Me yarn that is left over. And I have some that are mostly full skeins. I have some that are very well used skeins. And I have some that I don't have any color left at all. But she did not want fringe, so I didn't use the color on the fringe. But I think I have enough here to at least do another shawl, and then I'll be able to send out to a few more family members. Let me set that down. The other finished object that I have this time is my sweater for my friend. And this is going to get mailed out. This is the Magnus cardigan. And completely finished with all of the ribbing. The pattern calls for crochet on the edge of the sleeves and on the front band, and I prefer a ribbed knitted instead of a crochet, so I did the ribbing. I did do pockets, and I hope she will snuggle up in this. I'm just hoping it fits her. To me, I know she's much tinier than I am, but yeah, I'm just kind of scared. I'm thinking maybe I need to send her a skein of yarn just in case she has to add to it, but I don't think she will. I think that's just all in my head, and it will be fine for her. So that is my second. That is done out of Caring Cake Halo Colorama, and in the blues, I still have oodles left over because as it was a color change, I had to pull out to get the right color at the right spot. So I have a lot of yarn left over, and the black is Wool-Ease, and I only have a little bit of Wool-Ease left. So I think it took a total, I broke into a total of 4 of these Caring Cake skeins. And I think that's what's left over of 4 of the Wool-Ease. So it's supposed to be a mosaic where you break it off every time. I don't like weaving in ends all that much, so I carried it up the side or the front and then put the black on. As you can see here, I carried it up and then put the black edging on to cover that. It's, you know, a little bit noticeable, but not all those ends being woven in that I'm afraid will come out anyways. I did carry this in my I'm the younger sister, rules don't apply to me bag. I like this for larger projects. Of course, I'm knocking stuff over because it's my office and keeping it real, right? So those are my 2 finished objects. What have I been working on? Let me see. I don't even think I have my sock blockers in here. I don't. Well, I think I showed last time that I had finished one of these socks. This is out of Opal in, I think it's Happy Bee. And I am at the point where I am turning the heel and working down that so that I'm doing the heel flap and then I'll turn the heel. So I'm not far on that. Just got that going during a meeting today. The next is a blast from the past. This is my Electra cardigan. Socks, I don't, unless there's a pattern. That's just my own simple top-down DK 48 stitch, size 3 needle, ribbing, plain stockinette to a slip stitch heel flap, turn down to a rounded toe. That's how I do my vanilla socks. But with this, the Electra cardigan, I am working with Chicken Lady Fiber Arts Leghorn in another gray hair. And I have gotten it put together. The neck is done now, the collar. I'm doing this different than what the pattern says, so I'll get into that. But the collar is now done and the shoulder seams are now done. And I am working down the arm. So what have I done differently? Well, number one, the collar is not supposed to be stitched down, but I think it will work better if I have it stitched down. And I'll try this on. It's going to come together just like that. With that being all sewn down, I don't have to worry about the collar slipping or anything. It's going to grow some in length. Right now it's at my waist and I know it's going to grow just a little bit longer. The button will go right about there. And so I'm just working down the arm. How have I changed this? Oh my. Yes. Pull this back this way so that that's getting lots of ends to weave in. But originally this pattern is done in pieces. You knit each front separately, you knit the back separately. No, it isn't something that needs big structure except at the neckline. But even with the neckline, for the collar and the shoulders, I did do a seam at the shoulders. And that's done from the right side so that they go together easily. It's a mattress stitch. And this collar I crocheted along the bottom to hook it to the first part where I picked up all the stitches for the collar. I took it back and did the same thing to close it off. And that gives a rolled type collar, but it's still going to be a shawl collar effect. And I'm sure this is going to stretch out quite a bit with blocking. The bottom of this is going to grow some. It said to only do like 12 inches. And that included the garter stitch bottom. So I'm sure with blocking, I'm going to get another 2-3 inches on that. 16 inches is my go-to before I start, but because this is supposed to give it a little bit of a cropped look, I'm not going to start any more ribbing at the bottom, so I'm aiming for 16 inches. And the Electra cardigan, it's an older pattern, but it is still available. And I have this and 2 more skeins if I need to use it. But I think I will get the arm done with this, the other arm done with one, and I might have a skein left over. But that's okay. I really like how the stitch definition in this yarn, it's very, it's a very good stitch definition for stockinette and for garter. And it is being held in a bag that Boo bought me last year for my birthday. Ooh, who is that? Emma Ball. The Emma Ball bag. And that is also being done on size 11 needles. So bigger needles right now. It's where I am on these things. I have other things going, though. Let me get a sip. Next thing I have worked on, I think I showed this. I have 2 more skeins of this to go, so I'm hoping I have enough yarn. Because I have more of this yarn, but in a different colorway. But this is Nifty Cotton Effects from Cascade. And it's 100% cotton. And it is in the cilantro colorway, come to find out. And right now, my Salty Days that I am modifying kind of based on what Nora Knits did. She has a podcast, if you haven't seen it, aka Nora Knits. Pretty cute. But I'm on the second diamond repeat. So I have done the back and the front and then joined where it needs to be joined. And right now, as you can see, there is all that jewelry hanging off. So I'm on a lace repeat, and I am one that I love lace, but I hate getting screwed up on lace. So I do a stitch marker at every lace repeat. And so right now there are 31 stitch markers on here. And then I have my needles inside my, I can't remember the name of the person that does this leather. The initials are JY, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. But at this point, it is, I know it's going to stretch quite a bit because it's 100% cotton. So I'd say it's right at my belly button, and I want it much longer than this. So I don't know if I'm going to stick to the pattern or if I'm going to make it longer, but I know I'm not going to do the cinch in. I am going to do the split hem at the bottom. And then depending on how much yarn I have left, I may leave this to where I just put a little cap on the sleeve, just an edging, or if I have enough, then I'm going to do at least a half sleeve. So I'm very happy with that. This is being done on size 8 needles, and it is being held in, I think this is Two Sisters or My Sisters, I'm not sure, but it is a knot bag that I have this so that I can carry it with me. Most of the time I'm just on the couch with it. There's too much going on for me to carry it out and about, but this does tuck it away from the cats and it keeps it there. I am not seeing a tag on this bag though, so if you're the maker of this bag, claim it. What else have I worked on this week? I made a couple of crochet squares. I picked up 20 different colors of milk cotton. So it's the Kaysen 100% milk cotton. And I wanted to see how they worked up. So I pulled out an old pattern that I had. Stay, don't fall. There we go. And I made up crochet squares. This one I did back and forth, so I knew it would not bias. So front side, back side. This one I did all in one direction. It still did not bias. I kind of like it. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to make a blanket or what, but in my purchases, I picked up granny squares. There we go. And this is a card deck with 50 mix and match designs. It has come on out, a booklet that if you want the written directions for each pattern, here's the general granny square. The written directions are there. The diagram directions are also there. But each one of these cards has the front where you can look at it and get inspiration. And then, not that that's that one, but there's 50 of them. And then it has the chart on the back of it. And so I'm going to go through that and use up these 20 colors. And I think I'm going to just work that up. I know those two will go in, and I'm going to make them that size, and I don't know what they're going to go into, but I just wanted to try out this yarn and see how it handles washing and drying and other things. It says that it's machine washable, lay flat to dry, or a light dryer. I use Google Translate to read it. So fingers crossed that it will come out the way I want. If not, I'm not out much money, just time. So we'll play it by ear on that. I have also decided that the Block magazine is having a Orange Man Good knit along, and then Two Sisters and Some Yarn are having a Murder with a Cheesecake. I'm not sure, but it's about the Golden Girls and the Lanai, and theirs starts June 1st, and Blocked starts June 14th, I think. And so I have been trying to decide what orange I'm going to use, and I really want to use this Caprino in Sunset from Malabrigo, and I have 4 skeins of that. And I have this Crazy from Stonehenge Fiber Mill. And I think the colors in it will go very well for like a sunset or something on the lanai. And I have made a quill sweater in the past, and I love wearing it. It's just something I can throw on my jeans. Even a nice pair of jeans with a blazer over it, and I made it short sleeve. It's thin enough, it's great. It works as a work blouse for me, and I'm thinking about that, or I may do another color work, but I think this is what I'm going to be doing for those two knit alongs. There's also a Summer of Sweaters, or Summer of S, shawl socks or sweaters that can be done. I forget who does that knit along, but I'll join in as I can. But I think this is going to be on my get it done list. I do have this still going. I only did a row or two on it. This is that lace that I'm doing out of the Briar Rose, and I didn't get much done on it, so not much to talk about with it. But this is more of a fall thing, so I'd like it done for fall, but I don't have to get it done right now. I do have a couple acquisitions though that I have been, So there is a sweater that I have been thinking about, and hopefully I can put it up in here, and it's lace and it's done out of linen. If I start it this year, I may get it done for next year. So here's my little basket that I can keep it in. Then I picked up 3 cones of linen. There's a little bit of crinkles because I have to open them. I have them kept so that my cats are weird. They leave the wool alone except to bring it to me, but linen, they want to lick on. That's why most of my linen is up here. And yeah. So this is the linen that I will be using. It is a caramel color. And I have 3 cones. I think that will do a sweater. It is pretty fine. And I do not fall off my lap. I will be working with a size 2 needle. And so a sweater for me on a size 2 is gonna take a while. And hopefully I can get this done by next year. It's a goal. I saw a dress too and I really liked it, but I am not knitting myself a dress on size 2 needles. That's just not happening right now. Not till I'm much thinner. And I am working on that. But as slow as it goes on, or as fast as it goes on, it's much slower to come off. So other acquisitions that I have. I got this for Mother's Day. And this is what fell over a little bit ago. And this is my electric ball winder. And I'll put a thing at the end that I put up on Instagram showing it in use. It did make big cakes, so I like that. The only thing I don't like about this is it has a thread through for the thread instead of a pigtail. And when the skein that I was pulling off of got tangled, it was so bad I had to snip the yarn. And so I have 2 cakes instead of 1 because I couldn't just pull it out of here. And if it had a corkscrew, it would have been better. So Sarge is looking at it to see if he can maybe get this to where it'll be a slide in like this up here is. You can see that there's a little hole there. And so each one of these that have the spring on it that holds the tension, that's great, but I need to be able to remove. So I would need a cut here, and a cut in this one. And he might be able to do something with what he called a cutting wire to be able to see if that works. You do thread it around the bottom instead of the top for this one. And that was different because all of my ball winders, I have one right here, all have the slot on the top like the old Royal or the Stanwood. And this is electric and it worked better than I expected it to. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was $50 plus shipping. And I want to put it through its paces and see, but you know, I don't wind yarn every day and I don't wind yarn without something planned. We have a baby boy coming at work. One of the ladies is having her, what do they call it? A diaper dump next week. So I'll get this made up into a baby blanket for that little baby boy. So that is an acquisition. Then I thought, why not try out some things that I have in other ways, but are they, is there a less expensive version? So I got some sock rulers. One I think will work out as a sock ruler, and that is this one. And I think I got these from, it was either Temu or Shein. I'm not sure which one. This one will go into a sock. These one, unless you're making socks for a Jolly Green Giant, it's not happening. Do you see the difference? And I have my actual sock blocker. I was getting these to give to the ladies at my knit group that for the cancer group, that some of them want to learn to make socks. So this is the one I have used for years. It's from Saki's, and it has my name on the back. And that corresponds with the little one. And it goes into the sock perfectly, and it gives an accurate reading. This one, I think, will spread it out way too much to be accurate on a sock, because then it will be spread wider than what these are. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's way wider than what my foot is, but my foot is the circumference of, and maybe this is the size we should be knitting to all the time and not this, but I'm looking for it more for the measurement. And knowing that the centimeters here are correct, and then it actually has shoe sizes, and so that's kind of cool. Mine does have shoe sizes, but it's in inches. And it has hers and his shoe sizes. This one, as you can see, is done in centimeters and European sizes, which I actually prefer European sizes to American sizes because they're more accurate when it comes to the sizing of shoes. And then this one has both. Maybe. There we go. Maybe not. But this one also has, both of them have the needle sizer on it. And so, well, I will be sticking with my original. For not a lot of money, I picked these up, and at least they'll have the size so that maybe they can have the foot put down and go, okay, I need to mark this, and my husband's size is this, and my kid's size is this. And so it will come in handy. Will I be buying them again? Probably not, but there you go. It wasn't that much money. I also, have you heard about the new Crochet and Knit Nation newspaper? It is an actual newspaper. There is a crossword puzzle in each edition. There are word searches and other things, but there are 8 crochet patterns in this newspaper. It is done on newsprint. It does come in the mail with an address stamped on it, just like a newspaper would. It does have information and different articles in the front about Crochet Nation and things. This one had a good article on the history of crochet and the first, well, what we would consider the first crochet book. So that was a historical note and kind of cool. It does have patterns for a little elephant. This elephant, why can I not think of the word? It's a graphigan. There we go. And it has fun, other cute things in there. Little stories, different kinds of needles or different kind of hooks and how they do. The feature story, like I said, is on the first crochet book. And am I going to continue with it? I think my crochet skills are a little bit more advanced than this. Not that I don't find this nice, but I find a lot of the items kitschy. And when I go for crochet, I go a little bit more. In fact, I don't think I showed my crochet that I'm working on. I didn't, and I will in just a second. But, so I personally have stopped getting this. I did get 3 editions just to give it a chance. But if you're new to crochet and you want to learn and have some beginner projects to work with, go ahead and pick this up. It's not horrible. And with not a lot of books being out there anymore, it's one way to stay connected. I thought I had shown everything, but I didn't. In my What Happens at a Knitting Retreat Stays in a Knitting Retreat bag, I have worked with a, wow, I'm blind, 3.5 millimeter hook. These are my favorite hook, these in the red. I have been working on this shawl. Ooh, what is the name of this shawl? I have it on my phone and I'm recording on my phone, so I'll try to put it in. But this is where I am at this point. Let's get you the front side. And the rest of this is just repeating this, and it is already a nice size kerchief if I wanted to stop here, but I have all of this still to go, so quite a bit bigger. I want to say it's the Molly shawl, but I'm not. I don't want to stand on that because I'm not sure. Really not sure. So the last thing I have to show you, didn't do any spinning this time. I've been busy working on these things. I picked up a bag. Not that I need more bags, but I'm a bag hoe. And yes, my word of the year is reduce. And I have been reducing. But oh my. Is it Red's Lady? Red's LDY, so I think it's Red's Lady Creation, or Red's Lady Creates. Handmade with love fabric bag and hand knits. And she sent a little stitch marker also that says handmade with love. She had the cutest big bottom girls. Now these are fruit girls. And I had to giggle. And when I showed it to Sarge, he said, "You will order that for Mother's Day." And so I did. And these are fruit bottomed girls. And you know, big bottom girls make the world go round. Well, there you go. I had to do it. I just had to. They are so cute. And it has 2 handles like a tote. It does have snaps that are the plastic snaps that will be nice to carry stuff. The inside is all done in clouds, so it's like a day at the beach. And I mean, that mango, just that mango, and the banana. So they're fruit bottom girls, all fruits. We've got strawberry hats and orange and watermelons. Yep, all over. Strawberries. It's just cute. And I'm like, I identify as a fruit bottom girl. There we go. Oh, I'm okay with that. I am. So, are you a fruit bottom girl? Do you identify as one? What fruit would you be? I'm not doing my own knit along this summer. I figure I'm still in reduce mode, and I'm working on it, and I get to things as I get to things. I am trying for every new item that I'm putting out. I am trying to do a whip, and I will be going through my whips here relatively soon. And I know probably 7 or 8 right off the top of my head that I'm not going to finish. They need to be ripped out. And as much as I love them, they don't fit the body I now have. I probably started them 4 or 5 years ago. I've gained a little bit of weight since then. I'm working on that. My 10-year surgiversary is coming up, and I'm very much not happy where I am. But I know it's all my fault, not the surgery's fault, and I need to get back into being a good bariatric patient. You never stop being a patient. And the mental mind stuff that goes with that is real. I think that's it for me right now, and I'm not going to continue on anymore. It's been 40 minutes, so you guys have a great time until I talk to you again. Bye-bye.